Hello, everyone. The psyche of a human mind always strives towards some kind of wholeness, and suddenly there is a convergence of inner and outer experiences, which, although painful and difficult, point towards the establishing of independent identity. Sometimes one is forced into isolation in order to find himself or herself. So, when Neptune goes direct, we often find our longings increasing for one thing or the other. Neptune is the inspirational planet of dreams with an otherworldly and ethereal quality to it. In whichever house the Neptune is positioned, you always romanticize that part of your life. It's also about using stimulants like drugs and alcohol to transcend. Now, the Neptune planet, like life, is about extremes, and so altered states are a part of the remit. On one side, it's all about deception, while on the other end of the spectrum, it's about fantasy. With altered states, which began the 6 month planetary moonwalk on June 28th to December 3rd, otherwise known as Neptune retrograde, the veil over our eyes was lifted, allowing us to see relationships and situations for who and what they truly were. So, when Neptune turned direct on December 3rd, it activated a sensitive personal planet or area of our charts, and it again puts a veil over our eyes. If we are not careful and prudent, the planet can surround us in a world of fantasy, creating illusions, an aura that seems desirable and opulent in reality, but leading to self deception. Direct Neptune always hoodwinks, brainwashes, and tricks us in its deceptive ways. You could be overwhelmed in your emotions and prone to fantasize, thinking that the impossible can become possible. The situation does not end there. Our intuition, sixth sense, and paranoias both increase rapidly. So while the old wounds have the capacity to heal, so there's a plus point to it also. Being one of the slowest and a distant planet in the solar system, Neptune's effects are very subtle and only reveal over time, especially when closely connecting to any of the personal planets, that is, Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, or Mars, in a natal birth chart. This explains Narayana Montufar, a very senior astrologer. Known as the divine discontent, Neptune represents longing, glamour, and fantasy. Visualize this. Imagine looking at a distant ships that highlight the horizon across the ocean. From a faraway perspective, they may look like beautifully painted art in the sea. Up close, the big vessels full of cargo look like heaps of metal that aren't as picturesque as we imagined. It may not always be truthful, but we believe in Neptune because it represents the facade we choose to believe in. The mind is a very powerful thing, and its logical analysis can at times defeat the truth of heart. Remember, often things, situations, and people look different from afar, and at times we wholeheartedly want to believe that they are what we believe them to be, even if they are not. The deceptiveness of Neptune is something we'll be feeling when the elusive planet has turned direct. So, whenever any of our personal planets is being touched or activated by Neptune's direct motion, its compelling, magnetic, and captivating influence will shroud our sensibilities. We could possibly hide anxieties, fear, and unwanted realities. So once Neptune begins its retrograde in that same position of the zodiac, it loses its power, and this illusion slowly but surely strips away, sometimes leaving us disillusioned with harsh reality. So ultimately, the purpose of the universal intelligence in such a transit is to strip the soul from the arrogant influence of the ego while driving it to find a deeper meaning and the sense of self, your self worth. So, like all planets, Neptune has wonderful qualities as well as its shadow side. Neptune is escapism at its paramount and its vilest on the other side. So, when paramount, it's encouraging creativity like art, music, theater, fashion, makeup, self discovery. But at its vilest, it demands sacrifice, loss, obsession, addiction, and seduction. So often we can use the high or low vibration of the planet without thinking about the repercussions. So it's important to understand how to harness the creative energy to benefit oneself. Narayana Mantufar, astrologer and author of the Moon Signs Unlock Your Inner Luminary Path, says that when Neptune wakes up from its long nap, its powers could create major confusion in relationships and communication. We must be careful by practicing discernment and double checking our work, since this combination is classic for making us miss important details. Montufar also stresses the importance of being careful in how we use the energy during the fluctuating astrological seasons, as mutable signs carry variables. Anything can happen. So we always need to be hoping for the best but prepared for the worst. We need to be careful during the current month of Sagittarius as well as the upcoming months of Pisces, Gemini, and Virgo. The Sun will also be squaring Neptune from December 8th to December 18th, so we should tread with care until then. After 18th, Neptune's influence will become weaker and intermittent, being active mostly during the Pisces season in the spring and Gemini season in the summer of 2023. So use your imagination, creativity, and emotional nature of Neptune to write a book or getting a personality makeover. As long as you don't get into the lower vortex of the planet, it'll be easy to implement and manifest your visions into reality. The planet Neptune is a dream maker, which is why it is important to embrace the all encompassing sentiments that Neptune brings from our subconscious to our hearts and minds. Therefore, we should be careful and mindful in how we use this intense energy as Neptune moves forward. During this time, your willpower and strength of mind is at play. Neptune can help us work with our imagination and intelligence to realize the kind of life that we envisage for ourselves. The only criteria is to be correct and realistic, and you will be able to work magic in your life. Before Neptune becomes mild and weak, utilize this window of opportunity when its energies are powerful and magical. Neptune's waves don't always represent doom or gloom. We can experience pure and unconditional love under the gaze of this planet, as well as understand our own emotions. Through self care, meditation, and patience, we can use the Neptune energy to help create the world we want. Taking one step at a time will do wonders. Next year, Neptune retrograde begins again on June 30th and turns direct on December 6th, 2023. We have 6 months to realize and get connected with our inner core. What we want, how we are going to attain it, and why is it important to build the life of our dreams? Question yourself. Probably write it in your journal. Answer these questions: the what, how, and why. Don't allow yourself to get lost in confusions of mind. Instead, utilize this positive energy to gain clarity of mind. This way, we can conquer our fears and anxieties. So, when Neptune goes in a backspin in June 2023, you will have better clarity of yourself, your emotions, and your work. Meanwhile, dream big and allow all the Neptunian energies, and I mean, allow the Neptunian energies to engulf you positively. Just remember, it's a window of opportunity. Turn it around positively, especially when you feel as if you're getting lost and feeling down. Be optimistic. See the silver lining after that dark cloud. It's the universe's way of helping you realize your strength and willpower of mind and heart. The strength is within you. Just turn it inside out. Stay blessed and stay tuned for the upcoming video, which is of full moon. Knowing about the Neptune direct and the full moon that is going to occur in the house of Gemini on December 7th are very closely connected. So, till my next, stay blessed.